my friends. It's your old pal Jordan the Lion and
Scott Michaels.
the familiar face. We are not welcoming you to Oklahoma. We've been here, but we are welcoming you back to Route 66. We are here in Clinton, Oklahoma, and we are going to check out one of the best Route 66 museums on the entire route. So Daze with Jordan the Lion, and this guy, it begins right now. I love the way they decorated it. So far, just walking in, it's all familiar stops along Route 66. We'll see this today that you drop in. We've been here, the chicken basket. We've been there too. And of course, our old buddy, Will Rogers. Behind me, you probably hear a lot of construction noise. We're gonna be talking about that when we get out of this museum because they are now tearing down a place that Elvis used to stay in across the street. So we're gonna see it as it's in demolition. Oh, this is the guy that they claim that they based the character of Mater off of. We met him last time we were through. Probably meet him again today. It says mediocre music maker, Harley Russell. He's a Route 66 Hall of Famer. All right, welcome to the museum. I love it right away. You got a 66 Camaro SS. Beautiful, beautiful red. And this is just the lobby. We haven't even made it inside the museum. The entrance is over here. Here we go. Look at all these old curios you could buy along Route 66 over time. Just as we're getting started, they were telling us that each room goes every 10 years. So these are all really cool postcard images from stops along Route 66 that we have made together. We haven't been here, but we're going to Amarillo today. This is the old classic Route 66 gag, live rattlers. Then you're always supposed to open the lid. There's the rattler. Into the 20s. Wow, a much different time. And here they have a marking crayon for the asphalt for the very, very early days and stake tacks for the building of the early route. And of course everybody was riding on dirt roads then too. This is kind of the Grapes of Wrath era. The Great Dust Bowl migration. Before the Motor Lodge. Good news, war is over. Yeah, they're showing people traveling by bus now, taking the gray line. Thank you, Mr. Eisenhower. In the invention of the evil parking meter. Here we have a returning serviceman. Look at this. This old freight truck. It's kind of cool. Shoe shine chair. That's an old style one. I've never seen one that looks like that. Scott, get up there. Let's shine your shoes. How would we shine those? Think of that. Yeah, the days when people actually had patent leather shoes and nice shoes that needed shining. All right, moving along. I kind of dig the way they laid it all out. Now we're entering a diner. I feel like this is like Rebel Without a Cause, you know? Of course, the soda fountain. Very cool. The old diner with the old, in every room they have a button with a song, so you can play, that one's for Heartbreak Hotel, you can play Heartbreak Hotel while you're in here if you want. RC Cola. Moving on to the 50s. No, 60s. Yeah, definitely the 60s. That's, I bet Scott's digging this. Make love, not war, Scott. Wouldn't you rather us be traveling in this for this whole trip, Scott? Other than the fact it probably would have really broken down on us just as much. That is cool though.
Go about 40 the whole way.
Yeah, 40 to 45 if we're lucky the whole way. That's beautiful. That really is cool. And they're showing some Route 66 home movies over here. They're actually requesting here, if you have any old Route 66 home movies that you made, please let them know. They'd love to show them. Over here they're showing different cameras. They've got a 1930s movie camera over here, Kodak Brownie. Then this is a 1965 Polaroid, and back there is a 1974 Kodak movie camera. And air conditioners, can't forget air conditioners. And here they have some of the friendly faces of Route 66, some of the people that really make it worth visiting. Here, Bob Waldmeyer, who passed away unfortunately. He did a lot of the murals and things like that. And then here is Dawn. We didn't get to meet Dawn, but Dawn is the inspiration for Sally in Cars, and she owns the Rock Cafe. We've also been here. That's Crazy Legs Dean Walker at Cars on Route 66. We didn't get to meet Gary because I think Gary's passed away, but we did actually literally see that desk and that hat at Gary's Gay Parita service station. And we went there too, Pops. It's really cool to take all this in knowing that we've been to so many of these places. I mean, we were just there yesterday. That's at Pops on 66, and that's when they were just putting the bottle up. And we are out of here. They did a great job at this museum. Now let me show you what's going on across the street. We're about to lose an Elvis landmark. So I was seeing online that they were saying this might be demolished, and we got here as they are in the process right now. But Elvis used to stay here. His trips from Memphis to Vegas, when he would decide to drive, he would do Route 66 occasionally and used to stay here, passing through. They had an Elvis room here that was really popular. It's room 215. A Road 66 landmark just gone, being torn down completely. So we just talked to someone here and we asked about room 215, and he said, actually we tore it down last week. He said nobody told us that it was an Elvis room. They hadn't been renting it or anything. They just didn't know, and that was the first to go. So he said he didn't know if any of the memorabilia or the door or anything went across the street to the museum, but that section of it is gone. The Elvis room is officially gone. And I'm guessing in a couple of days, this whole lot will be just rubble. Can't keep everything forever, but this is the whole reason we're doing this trip. Losing little bits and pieces all the time, and I want to see it while we can. Goodbye, Trade Winds. Almost got to meet you. Believe it or not, we've made it to the Trade Winds Inn, and this was one of Elvis's favorite stops when he would sometimes take road trips with the Memphis Mafia guys back and forth from Memphis to Vegas and vice versa. Sometimes he would just tell the guys, hey, go pick up a car, one of his cars in Vegas or Hollywood, and drive it back to Memphis, and this was their go-to spot. There's even a room here. They used to have a plaque outside of saying that Elvis used to stay here, but people kept stealing it. Let's go find that room while we're here. Trade Winds Inn. Well, there it is, right up on the second floor, right there. That is room 215 that he liked to stay in. They said that it had a black Naugahyde fainting couch, fold-a-bed combo, green pile carpeting, and fixtures from a happier time gone by. Definitely no Elvis sign up there now. That's 215, the Elvis suite. Here would have been the old night check-in spot right over here. Let's see if there's anything inside about Elvis. Here they do actually have a sign about Elvis staying here. Like I said, it was his go-to stop in between those road trips. All right, here we go. We're actually headed off to another museum, believe it or not. Moose Knuckle Tavern, wow. This is like a wacky part of the road because it kind of goes all over each side of the freeway for several miles. Like one part of the freeway you're on the left, one part you're on the right. Can you tell me which way to Route 66, sir? Have a good day. Thank you for letting us pass through Canute. What an amazing old motel sign. That's not even how you spell cotton ball. Cotton bowl? Is it? I thought it was always B-A-L-L. No? I don't know. Cool sign though. We've seen some beautiful old service stations along this route that people have kept up, but this is one that they haven't. You can tell it really could be something. It's still got that cool front, but right now it's just housing a headboard. Hey, I stumbled upon a Dr. Pepper bottling plant. I love it. And I love Dr. Pepper. I knew we'd see him at some point on this trip, and we just found him. Look at that old sign for Westland. I love it. We're looking for a Route 66 museum, but I just cannot find it. Where the heck would that thing? Oh, maybe this is it. With this gigantic sign. Holy cow, look at this. That's got to be the world's largest Route 66 sign. Wow. We made it to Elk City. This is a very unique museum on Route 66. I can't wait to check this one out. What a sign! As soon as we pulled in, we got to meet Myrtle. Myrtle the Kachina doll. It's a dang big one too. She's got a name. Doing a little bit of work on the museum right now. The exteriors you can see is kind of scraping the paint, probably replacing the paint, but I love it. It's one of those old town. Got the hotel, there's a hamburger joint here. Kind of takes you back in time. Then they have an even older Pioneer Town Museum, historic village over there. There's a saloon, guy's lighting his cigar. Another one. Yaya Tia, I think. Then we enter the Rex Theater to buy our tickets, and then I believe you exit this door and you walk through the bridge into the museum. So it starts out as a transportation museum that you walk through. It's got all kinds of old cool transportation. 1965 Harley electric glide. Nice. An Indian. I love the Indian motorcycles. Look at that creature from the Black Lagoon. Airplanes, fire trucks. Look in the back of this. For the ultimate traveler, camper. Yeah, get on in. Let's see what you look like driving behind this. You're kind of your own version of Angelina now. That's cool. So you're actually driving on Route 66. Press the gas pedal to start cruising. What the TV says. There he goes. That's a cool thing to the museum. Do you feel like you're cruising? Hey, no, that's very irresponsible. You know how many accidents we have on the roads because of that kind of stuff? Here you can sit in the back of a car for your drive-in movie experience and look at what's playing. This side showing The Blob. Just a night at the drive-in. I want to go to Blob Fest, where they have it at the movie theater from The Blob. Now we're going into the Route 66 part. Wow, cool wall. Michael Wallace collection. Oh, an original guardrail. Route 66, that's cool. 1953 Lincoln Continental. Look, Burma Shave. I love it. Oh wow, the Chicago Theater. Whenever I see that, I think of Perfect Strangers. The intro Perfect Strangers. So they're representing the start of Chicago there. That is a parking meter. Old parking meter. Never seen one that looked like that. Merrimack Caverns, we went there. (1928) Model A Ford. This place is great.
Yeah, it really is well done.
This they've got the Burma Shave stuff just continuing on. They really captured, and then behind us, what we're not showing you is like they have different postcards, all kinds of different information, just places along the route. These kids playing, no girls allowed.
Oh, that's funny.
This is so great. It might go home in another car, Burma Shave. Yeah. Tucumcari tonight. You know, it's funny they say that. Tucumcari is one of my favorite stops along Route 66. That's a 1919 Model T. Live rattler snakes. We haven't hit one of those yet. We have not hit like a reservation stop or anything like that. We will though. More as we enter New Mexico and Arizona probably. Yeah, the Indian Trading Post. I'm sure we'll get to those. This is really cool. Wow. They did a great job representing Route 66. 1940 Chevrolet. Olympic ski bike. And then here's Henry Fonda. They're showing Henry Fonda sitting in this chair because they filmed part of The Grapes of Wrath out here. And oh, this is cool. I just noticed that, the tourist court behind here. And the courthouse that we're going to go to next was in the movie, and they restored it to the way it was in the movie. 1928 Ford truck. So that's supposed to be Henry. That's Henry, and they also have Director John Ford's chair. I love the way they did this museum. This is just amazing. They have a lot of the local history as well, but we really just wanted to check out mainly the Route 66 stuff. Look at that. 66 diner, Stingray in there, and a Studebaker. AAA root beer. Now we got a boarding house. We've come outside and they have a lot of the town here. The old City Daily News building. All kinds of buildings. They really, as part of the museum, they recreated or created a new town of the old buildings. Scott's loving this. And then, like I said, on the opposite side of this, they have a pioneer heritage town as well. The Elk Court for the Phillips 66 station. Here's the Elk Grocery. Here's the funeral home. Winery and Savage, what a name. Paul Jones Drugstore. Yeah, a pretty cool town here in the museum. This house says furniture and undertaking. I'm guessing you're the undertaker, sir. Got his whole house in here on display. I'm guessing the undertaking happens in the back. Over here we have the grocery store and the barber shop. I love that they actually put stuff inside you can see. And a Route 66 general store. Definitely got to check that out.
I'm one of the greeters out here, so I
amazing.
walk around with people if they got questions. I try to answer them.
Wow, what a general store. Wow. It's amazing. Yeah, it sure is. Got the hat makers over here. Dressmaking. That is quite an experience. You can buy your cheese right there. The old phone switchboard. Stuff for the kids. There's the Edison cylinders. Stereoscopic photography. Elk City has a really, really awesome museum here, man. Wow. I'm impressed. Masonic Lodge up here. They have a church over here. Let's see the schoolhouse before we go. I got it to ring once. So here it says Community TV Inc. Then you have this, and it says that entrepreneurs pioneering a new industry, a new way to receive broadcasts, television signal, inventing the first cable television system west of the Mississippi River here in Elk City, Oklahoma. Bob Potter, Mel Patterson, and Pat Patterson. You went into one of the houses on the property I didn't go into, and you were saying that, well, can you talk about like the Miss America and the guy from the Misfits and stuff?
Well, God, I wish I remember. There was Lynn and Blanche, these professional rodeo people. I wish I could remember their last name now. There was so much information in there, but there's 5 generations of these people that did rodeos, and they wrangled, you know, animals for rodeos and for movies. And Lynn, this guy went to Hollywood, and he worked on F Troop, and he worked on Bus Stop with Marilyn and the Misfits, they say, and it was overwhelming, because in the Miss America is a whole wall of her 1981 Miss America. So it's stuff that I wouldn't even have found interesting that I really enjoyed. They have a whole village there of about, I think they said 17 buildings. And so if you get to, where were we just now? Where was that?
Elk City.
Elk City, go to this thing. It is the Route 66 Museum with all those cars, and you sit in the car like you're watching.
Yeah, the Transportation Museum.
No, I can't. Stuff like this would not inspire me, but I really enjoyed, yeah, but I enjoyed every second of that. It was really good.
All right, baby, welcome to Sayre. We made it. In the distance, I can see it. I see the courthouse. In Sayre, we've made it over to the Beckham County Courthouse. This is historic for a couple of things. It's one of the only domed courthouses in Oklahoma, and it was featured in the 1940 John Ford movie starring Henry Fonda, The Grapes of Wrath. Here it tells the history of it, but at the very bottom it says it's one of the few courthouses with a dome. The courthouse has a cameo in the role 1940s movie The Grapes of Wrath. As the Okies round a corner on their way out of Oklahoma, they drive past the picturesque dome building. That's the shot of the courthouse you see in the movie with them driving towards us. There's going to be a great sign up here for a theater on your right. Look at that, the Stovall Dust Bowl Daze. That's a good one. There's City Hall. All right, we got a bit of a drive, but we should have a pretty cool reward when we get there. All right, Roger Miller Memorial Highway. King of the road. Scott, I think this is, I think this might be where we met Harley at the redneck place of his.
Redneck is not a very nice term.
No, that's what he calls it. He calls it like a redneck headquarters or something,
right.
remember?
Yeah. And it was cool looking.
Wow, look at that windmill heaven. The Okie Trading Post. Nice. Hello, Eric. In Eric, we are in the hometown of Roger Miller. That's why I was doing all that singing and doing his songs. We went here once before. This is the redneck capital of the world I was telling you about. This is where Harley runs his shop. He was the inspiration for Mater. I'll put the footage of us meeting him last time we were in town in here. I'm gonna go in and check it out.
Take all the photos you want, guys.
Wow, look at this place. I love it. You got Roger Miller's guitar over there?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Wow, which one?
You see that old Gibson L5 there?
Oh yeah. That's Roger's guitar.
I've got so much stuff
You sure do.
in here.
Scott, you're in awe, aren't you?
Yeah. Here's Leon Russell Street, so.
This is the very first Route 66 sign posted in the state of Oklahoma from 1926.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hold it, play with it, and pet it, guys. Please don't drop it on my instruments.
Wow, that's really
And
cool.
please don't set it in the chair because it puts fresh scratches in the chair. This guitar here came out of a former Gibson Guitar Company employee's estate sale in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It was made in 1952 and set in the case unplayed until I got it in 2020, and they only made one of them.
Wow.
And I've got it.
And I love that it's on Sheb Woolley Avenue, one of Johnny Cash's buddies. I bet Rosie's Diner was a cool place at one time. There's Harley in there, entertaining some people. He's got some crazy red and white striped. He's in there with those people. Scott, would you say that Harley is an acquired taste?
I would not taste Harley, personally.
No. I meant an acquired taste as a person. If you're coming through, he's got kind of a dark sense of humor, kind of an off-color sense of humor. Beware.
Yeah.
Don't bring kids.
Yeah. No, definitely not. He definitely is a captive audience when you enter his shop.
He's a nice guy, but I would say for Scott and I, it's a once-in-a-lifetime meeting that we wanted to make. And we saw him out there giving a tour. He has several buildings, so he was busy. And yeah, you're right. We did see him in the Route 66 Hall of Fame in that first museum today in Clinton. Old roadside stops just going to waste. Even more of a reason to travel it, though, honestly. Things you will never see, things you can't see anywhere else. We've hit a rough chunk of 66. Look at this. We've just hit a town that basically this is what the entire town looks like. Just rubble of what it once was. Here's the town mechanic. Wonder if he works on transmissions. Even the tumbleweed grill couldn't stay open. No place like Texola. We are just about to cross the border. That's what they're talking about. We're in Oklahoma heading to Texas.
See that black cat?
Oh yeah, there's a black cat over there. It's kind of creepy, isn't it? There's our sign on the road for Texola. Just outside of town we found this, another Will Rogers marker, and it says June 26, 1952, on this location Route 66 was rededicated as the Will Rogers Highway. One of many of the ceremonies that took place on the state lines of Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, as well as Oklahoma. When a booster caravan traveled from St. Louis, Missouri to Santa Monica, the caravan was organized by the National U.S. Highway 66 Association, Warner Brothers Film Studio, Ford Motor Company, and Route 66 associations from those 8 states. All were in on it. I think this is like the state line. Yeah, there's the Texas sign right there.
No kidding.
And the road's completely changed. Somebody had put like bumper stickers and stickers all over that Texas sign. This is a really rough part of Route 66. The Texas stretch is pretty rough. Hello, Shamrock. Let's see what we got up here. Home of Historic Route 66. Bill Mack, the XM Satellite Cowboy. The tower you drop in. Yeah, we want to see that. We're gonna go there. Oh, this is magical. The Blarney Inn, a wee bit of Ireland here in Shamrock. Look at this guy. Kind of looks like the Great and Powerful Oz. So there's a plaque for Bill Mack. Scott was just reading up that he had the, when they called him the XM Cowboy, he had a show that I think Willie's Place, Willie ended up.
This was called the Roadhouse, and Willie's Place, Willie Nelson had Willie's Place, and they fired him and combined the channels to Willie's Roadhouse in the series.
Yeah. There's pictures of him with Willie over here. Scott was just noticing he's in the Country DJ Hall of Fame. They got a lot of pictures of him with people like Johnny Cash and Dolly and Merle. Over here, Willie, Conway Twitty, Clint Eastwood, Loretta Lynn. You've seen it all. Ernest Tubb. Scott, did you know we made it to Texas?
I think I just saw.
So we made it to this Kanoko station, which is actually the tower building. The tower, and you drop in. Look at this. Isn't this amazing? It says it was built by a local entrepreneur. The tower building is an excellent example of a gas station diner of the 1930s and exhibits many elements of the Art Deco style. One of the things I'm most excited about is this booth right over in here is the Elvis Presley booth. Elvis used to eat here. So we gotta go in and check that out. And if they serve some food, we'll get some food here too, probably. This is great. Take a look around. The old lunch counter.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna get some lunch probably, but we gotta see the Elvis booth. Look at that. Right over here it says Elvis dined at the U Drop Inn and sat in this booth. A local man's aunt worked here in the 1960s and remembers being lifted up to the window to see the famous singer. Probably through that window, right? Elvis stayed in the Shamrock at the Sun and Sand Motel, now the Route 66 Inn, in 1963. He stayed in room 18 and Colonel Parker stayed in room 23. The waitress from the Maverick restaurant delivered room service. The Glancy family owned the motel at the time and Elvis gave them an autographed photo. Their daughter, Kim, remembers riding her tricycle over his feet. That's awesome. We're gonna eat in the Elvis booth. That's awesome. So we went ahead and tried the chicken salad up on the board here, and Scott and I are gonna share a piece of the strawberry pie. That looks great. I want to see what the rest of the building looks like. This is the restaurant. Let's see what the tower part looks like. They have a gift shop here, of course. And here you can see on the Cars poster that Flo's Cafe from the movie Cars is based off of this. See? Drawing a Luigi. So this is a painting of where Elvis stayed. We're gonna swing, we actually passed on our way in, but we'll swing by and check that out on our way out of here. So it's now the Route 66 Inn. Good thing Scott and I are Elvis fans. This is one of my favorite stops we've had in the last couple of days. I love the architecture of this place, just the Elvis history. What do you think, Scott? Do you like this place at all, or?
Yeah, I love it. It's very Elvis.
It does have an Elvis vibe to it. I'll tell you what, this looks really good for right now. I'm kind of something cold, refreshing, nice sandwich, chicken salad. I'm in. Would you say mayonnaise on the road is never risky?
Never at all.
Live a little. You're wearing your Benedict Canyon shirt. What can go wrong? All right, let's give it a taste with Elvis over our shoulder. Pretty good. Scott just said, I'll take the rest of my food to go. He's repulsed by me eating on camera. Just one bite. You just never know what you'll see on Route 66 as you're dining a historical eatery. Sometimes it's even the Storm Chaser's vehicle. You gonna eat the strawberry pie first? Go for it. Scott seems to have liked it. Now we got a bunch of bikers that just showed up. Now I'm gonna give her a try. Excellent. This was a nice little stop. Later, Kanoko Tower. This is picturesque. This is just Route 66 at its finest. Let's go there and see that Elvis room. We'll have to save Big Vern's steakhouse for another time, because he's the home of the real Texas steak. Being a huge fan of the movie Twister, I love to see this kind of stuff. People that do that, crazy storm chasing. Here's what it looks like today. Elvis would have been staying here. So that is room 123. These are all ones in front of them, so we assume that that would be 23, which was the Colonel's room. Then Elvis's room would have been right there where that brown door is, where the Get Your Kicks on Route 66 mural is. That's room 18 right there. We were really shocked. They have like no mention of Elvis here at all. They have to know, I would think, but yeah, they're not exploiting it or anything. Well, my friends, we're gonna call it a day from the Big Boot here in Shamrock, Texas. Come join us next time for more Route 66 starting here in Shamrock, Texas. See you all next time. Have a great night and goodbye. Safe travels.